fellow carbon-based bipeds. I am Scott Rose, and you are watching Explosions and Stuff. Today, I'll be reviewing the 2013 film Death Race Inferno, starring Luke Goss, Danny Trejo, Dougray Scott, and Tanit Phoenix. But first, a word from our sponsors. An overview of the movie. After becoming Frankenstein, Carl Lucas is again competing in the death race. He has won 4 races so far, and if he wins his 5th, he will go free. This time, the game is different, and they are now competing in the South African desert, and he's up against more than just the drivers. If Frankenstein wins his 5th race and goes free, the show loses its grand attraction, and the owners cannot let that happen. The pros of this movie? Well, first of all, I loved the opening of this movie. It was just immediate change. The ownership of the Death Race franchise immediately changed hands within the first 5 minutes of the movie. They didn't lollygag around, they didn't waste time. They just got right into the story. They didn't waste time with pointless backstory, pointless history, pointless establishment. You already had all that from the first movie, or from Death Race 2. This movie, they just went right into it right away. They changed right away. They changed the ownership and just went right in the new direction. They didn't waste any time, and I love that. That's great to see. That's very refreshing to see from a relatively modern movie. Also, I loved the villain in this movie. He was insanely well played, and he was very well written. He was the kind of guy who's like, I'm rich, I'm powerful, I can do whatever I want, and you can't do anything about it. Nah, 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 nah. I loved that. It was just fantastic. It was a nice villain to use in this. It fit, it was perfect, it was just fantastic and glorious, and the dude playing him did a beautiful job at playing the villain in this movie. Also, the race scenes were just exciting and beautiful and glorious. Edge of your seat action, great soundtrack to accompany them, to really pound in the excitement and make it feel just that much more exciting and that much more fun to watch. The race scenes in this movie were just fantastic. The cons of this movie? Well, the shaky cam in this movie was pretty damn bad. Whenever they had it, it was just really shaky and really quick cuts, and it was almost seizure-inducing. I get it. They were trying to cover up these people's bad ability to fight in the action scenes. They didn't need it, though. The fight scenes were unnecessary, so you didn't need all this seizure-inducing shaky cam. Get rid of that nonsense. It really took me out of the film, and there's no way I could eat while watching these scenes, because it would have made me motion sick. Seriously, they really went overboard with the shaky cam in this scene. Either get rid of the shaky cam altogether, or just get people who can actually fight to do these action fight scene things. Either get rid of them altogether, or get people who can do them properly. Don't have them in there and have people who can do them crappy like they did with this movie. Especially the all-women fight. That one was just god-awful. That was the worst action scene in the entire movie. It was just deplorable and god-awful and worthless. It didn't need to be in there other than guys like, ooh, I get to see women in skimpy clothes kick each other's butts. Yay! No, there's no reason for that scene to be in the movie. Also, this is the same kind of complaint I had about the last one, about Death Race 2, and that the tracks and the races, there's no way to really distinguish between the 3 races. They all just melded together. Yes, the races were all exciting, but there was really nothing to distinguish the first race from the second race from the third race. They all felt the same. Yeah, different people died in them, and all the deaths were done in different ways, but that's really it. It was the same areas, the same parts of the city, the same parts of the town, the same parts of the desert. Everything felt the same in these races, and there was just no way to tell them apart. Also, the CG in this movie was bad. Luckily, they didn't have a lot of it in this movie, but what they did have was bad. Between the muzzle flares, and the rockets being shot off, and the rockets flying through the air, all of the CG in this movie was bad. I don't know if it was good for its time and it just aged poorly. I don't think that's what happened, though. I think the CG was just always bad, and it just always felt really bad and cartoonish, and really took me out of the movie. My overall thoughts on the movie? While it's not as good as Death Race 2, it's still a good movie, and I give it one thumb up. In a movie like this, you really need to have exciting races, and they pulled that off really well. I never thought I would say this, but they really could have done with less fight scenes because they all just seemed pointless. Really though, none of the issues with this movie were a big enough deal to make me dislike it. And if you enjoyed any of the other Death Race movies, you really should check out Death Race Inferno. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like it and subscribe to my channel for new action movie reviews posted every week and top 10 lists posted on the 10th of every month. Also, if you have any recommendations for things you would like me to cover in the future, please leave them in the comments below and follow us on Twitter at explosions_TV. Thank you and have a nice day.